Hey guys, it's GameFace here and welcome back to part 2 of 2 of my Manchester City Evolving Career Mode series that I'm currently doing. Where basically we take a team, we do 2 episodes with them, and we try and evolve them over 2 seasons to creating a new team, a new improved team that's able to win games really easily and is able to be unplayable at times as well. So that is kind of the game of this mini-series which I'm doing at the moment. We are changing teams after Manchester City. You've left some really good suggestions. I'll be doing something like maybe a Liverpool and Arsenal, someone in a different league as well at some stage. We'll be going through quite a few different teams, so look out for that and don't forget to leave some suggestions. Also, before we get into things, if we could go ahead and hit 40 likes on today's episode, I would really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. It'd be absolutely fantastic. I really do appreciate the support I can get on this video and for the channel. And yeah, let's crack on with today's video. So we are at the start of the second season now. If you missed the first season, then feel free to go watch it. And yeah, we're going to be making some more signings, getting rid of a lot of players as well. This is where the biggest sort of evolution of this team is going to take place. We've got a lot of players that are going to be transfer listed here. A lot of players. So yeah, there's quite a few, as you can see. A lot of players that have come back from being out on loan. A lot of players that are also just getting a bit old, or we don't really want to use them going into the final season. Kind of leaves us with a very strong team. We're going to keep with Hart and ter Stegen at the club. Hart's obviously come back from his loan now. But we've got like loads and loads of centre-backs. We've got about 6 centre-backs. We're also going to be looking at a new left-back and potentially a new right-back as well if we do decide to list Zabaleta. And yeah, we're going to have quite a few different places in the team to try and fill. Maybe need one more winger as well, to be honest. So it's going to be an interesting episode. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy it as well. Let's crack on by taking a look at our shortlist. Okay, so far there's just 2 players on there. David Alaba being one of them and Dybala being the other. Dybala's a player I'm definitely going to be signing. I'm actually going to be getting rid of Aguero. A little bit controversial maybe, but in real life, there's kind of rumours that he might be leaving Man City at some point in the near future. He's not being played as much. Gabriel Jesus has obviously just been injured, so he will get back in the team for now. So what we're going to do is get rid of Aguero, but 50 million he's worth, and we're going to, on top of that, put about 25 million towards Dybala, maybe 28 actually, just to make sure that we're nicely in between the estimation of his value. 53 million on a left back. I can think of better ways to spend my money, so I'm not too sure on that. We've only got 100 million to spend. Half the budget on a left back when we've already got Danny Rose, I'm not so sure about. So maybe we'll look at a cheaper option. You've also got to bear in mind that with this being our last season, we've got to try and win everything. That is the aim. We've got to become unplayable. We've got to become a really, really good side where we can afford to sim loads and loads of games. We'll be playing, I think, maybe 1 game in this episode if we get to the Champions League final. It'll be a final, I would imagine, anyway, that we get to play, like I say, if we get there. Okay, so a player that I've seen before being linked with Manchester City and various other clubs in the Premier League as well, I think Chelsea and Man United have also been linked to him, is Gaia. Now, he's a little bit unoriginal, I suppose, for career mode. A lot of people signed him, or used to sign him anyway, in the last few different career modes. And I'm going to try and put in a bid for him here, see what sort of amount they're after. To be honest, I'm not really too sure, so we're going to go 12 million. We won't include a left-back in there just yet. We won't include like Dalglish or Kolarov for now. Now, this kind of rules out any sort of realism at this kind of stage, to be honest. And I said it, if you watched the last episode, I did actually say that we wouldn't be necessarily always going for realistic players, because obviously I don't think Arsenal would sell Hector Bellerin, but it's apparently a player that Pep Guardiola has been very interested in, so we're going to try and sign him. Nasri going the other way also is a little bit questionable, and I think we'll go with 5 million on top of that. Nasri's worth 17 already, but not too sure how much they'll be wanting for Hector Bellerin. More realistically though, Oscar Di Marcos, I'm pretty sure I've seen his name linked with Man City, as have many players really, to be honest, especially in the right back position where they're clearly looking to strengthen. We're going to be putting, I think, Pablo Zabaleta as part of this deal, and maybe we'll just go with 10 million on top of that. And Mario Gaspar is another player that I'm also tempted to put in a bid for as well. So we will go with a similar sort of bid. Again, we'll just pretty much chuck in Pablo Zabaleta. And I think we'll maybe not go quite as high this time around, 8 million. On to another potential signing, and it's Julian Brandt, I think is how you pronounce his name, from Bayer Leverkusen. We're going to try and sign him, and Nolito's going to go the other way. But we are going to get rid of him, hopefully, as part of this deal. 7 million plus Nolito. It's just over 20 million in combined fees. So we'll wait and see what they say on that one. Okay, first of all, transfer offer in for Teddy Ambrose, and we are going to ask for 2.1 million, how much he is worth, to be honest, so not really too sure why they've gone so far underneath it. But yeah, we are going to try and look to get rid of him. Arsenal have come back and said that the bid is unacceptable. They're interested in the player, but they want 19 million on top of Sami Nasri, so we'll go with 10. A little bit closer, and that's probably a more realistic amount. Valencia have come back and just rejected the bid for Gaia straight away. We'll put in a more tempting bid then, 18 million. We might actually instead put in Dalglish, thinking about it. We'll go 14 million plus Dalglish. We've got Juventus, and basically they're coming back and accepting the bid we put in for Dybala. Wasn't really expecting that to be accepted straight away, but we're happy with that one. We're going to go to £240 a week, 5-year deal, crucial first-team player. Transfer for him for Aguero from our rivals, Man United. I would potentially go further and counter-offer usually, but I'm not really happy to sell to one of our rivals. If he's going off to Juventus, that's brilliant for us, because we're not really going to see him other than in the Champions League. We've got the bid for DeMarcus being accepted. He wants 40 grand a week. We'll go ahead and give him that, and we'll go import a first-team player. We've got Leverkusen coming back here and saying they're interested in the player, but they want 25 million, as well as Nolito. Much more than I thought, actually. Was not expecting them to want that much, but we'll go 15. And Villarreal are again interested in the player, but they want 26.5 million. Now, that is a lot more than I thought. So we'll go with 12 million. Dybala accepts the contract. This is going to be our first signing of the new season. Aguero leaves us, and we sign Paulo Dybala. Really, really happy with that one. Fantastic addition, I think, to the team. And we've got Hector Bellerin here accepting, or Arsenal accepting the bid we put in for him. He wants 100 grand a week. We'll certainly give him that. Make sure that he's definitely going to sign for us. 5-year deal, and again a little bit unsure to give him, so I'll go important first team player, which is better than what he is at Arsenal. Transfer for him for Ter Stegen. Now, I'm actually, part of me wants to actually get rid of Ter Stegen and get Manuel Neuer, who Man City have been linked with recently. So that is a possibility. We've only had him for like 5 or 6 months or something. We'll say 50 million. Not too sure that Dortmund have that sort of money to sort of pay up front, but we'll wait and see exactly what they say. Gabriel Jesus, not a chance that he is leaving. We've got Nottingham Forest coming back and saying they'll match the amount we've asked for, and Valencia saying they want 24.1 million plus Clichy in order to sign Gaia. No, let's just say no to that one. 18 million. We need to sell a lot of players, and this might be one of them we can get out the door. Wilfred Bonny, we're going to ask for 18 million. Borussia Mönchengladbach there asking to try and sign him. We'll hope that they do decide to match that. Again, still asking for 26.5 for Mario Gasper. Maybe going to look to 16. That might be a little bit better for them. Leverkusen accepts the bid we put in for Julian Brandt, and he wants 60 grand a week. We will match that one and hopefully get him signed up as soon as possible. Not really too sure what sort of squad role to give him. I might go on the side of caution there and go with the squad rotational player for now. DeMarcus accepts his contract, same with Hector Bellerin, and I think DeMarcus is probably the one I'd favour out of the two, to be honest. Pablo Zabaleta going the other way as well. I'm not really too sure about the realism of this one. And obviously if we sign DeMarcus, then we don't have to faff around with Mario Gasper, who is obviously causing us some issues with the amount of money they're wanting for him. So I think Oscar DeMarcus, who's a player that I'm pretty sure I've seen Man City being linked with, I think he's the sort of player that we should try and sign. 82 overall, actually a little bit better than I thought, to be honest. He can play right winger, but will be probably the second favourite behind, obviously Kyle Walker, who's 83 overall. Dortmund have come back and said they'll pay 41 million for Ter Stegen, but not 50. I'd actually let him go for 48 million. He's going to cost us a lot of money. 92 overall. This is not going to be a cheap signing. This one might work. David Silva's worth 33 million. He's going out the door. He's transfer listed. Don't really want him in the side for the upcoming season. We're going to try and find some sort of replacement for him somehow. We might not even necessarily have to replace him with the players we already have in the squad. So on top of that, we'll just chuck a big £40 million in there as well. Borussia Mönchengladbach willing to pay 13.5 million for Wilfred Bonny. We asked for 18 initially, and I think we'll just ask for what he's worth now. Valencia accepts the deal that we've got for Jose Gaia, 18 million plus Clichy, a little bit more than I was willing to pay, but luckily he makes up for it with a pretty low wage demands, given obviously the players that we're used to signing those sort of bigger wages. Player sold, we've got Ambrose there going to Nottingham Forest, and Julian Brandt declined, so it's a bigger role in the squad. I did actually say, Dinzer, that I wasn't too sure whether he'd be happy with squad rotational. We won't give him that then, we'll give him important. Dortmund don't believe Ter Stegen's worth that much, so maybe we can use him as a part of the deal to sign Neuer. Speaking of Neuer, they're interested in the player, but they want 73 million as well. 50 million. Transfer for him for Kolarov. It's Everton that wants him. We're going to ask for 6 million. I think 5 is a little bit under what he's worth. 6, I think, is a little under what he's worth as well. Jose Gaia is going to come in. Clichy is going to go the other way, and that'll be a decent signing for us. We're getting a little bit more on the wage budget because we're bringing in some expensive players, but in terms of the wage budget, much less than what we currently have in those positions. He's 81 rated as well. Okay, on to another slightly strange bid. So I'll put 22 million, I think, on top of that, and see what Barca say to that. We're kind of running out of money a little bit to do all the adjustments for now. Brandt accepts the contract offer, and we can sign him now for 15 million, with Nolito going the opposite way. Happy with that signing. Again, not too sure overall he is, so a little bit of a stab in the dark. The other ones have worked. Hopefully this one works nicely for us as well. Yeah, it does actually. 82. Again, was not expecting him to be quite as high as that. Okay, this is a big one. Bayern Munich have accepted the bid from Manuel Neuer, 50 million, and David Silva. He's obviously going to potentially save us loads and loads of points throughout the season, so that's why we're going to try and bring him in. He's the best goalkeeper on the game, and hopefully he's going to accept that contract. Borussia Mönchengladbach have come back and said they'll pay 15 million. I know I said I wouldn't really accept anything under his value. We're going to put in one final counter offer. They can have him for 1 million less than what he's worth. And we've got transfer offer in for Niame, I think. Barnett wants him. He can leave. Barcelona come back and said they're not interested in Samir Nasri as part of the deal to sign Busquets. No one else we can really give for the deal unless we just give him to Stegen back. So we'll get rid of Stegen. He's also worth more as well. 27.5 million. On top of that, we'll put 20 million, I think, as well. Maybe that's overpaying a little bit, actually. I'm always just want to make sure I'm not overpaying by loads. It can happen sometimes, and it's fine if it does happen, because we do have quite a bit of money. 6 million for Kolarov. He seems to be going to Everton if they can agree personal terms. And Manuel Neuer has accepted the contract offer. 50 million plus David Silva. That is probably the biggest signing we will make, I think. Borussia Mönchengladbach have come back and decided to match the 16 million for Wilfried Bony. That's great news for us. He can go out the door now. And we've got Niame there moving to Barnet. Transfer offer in for Ilkay Gundogan. Not a player I was looking to get rid of. 75. That's what it's making me think. 75 million, and you can have him. And that means we'll try and sign him up for this season. But yeah, Gundogan's always been a bit of a strange one for me. In-game, I'm not a huge fan of him. Obviously, overall-wise, he's pretty decent. But yeah, I'm not really too sure about that one. We'll just see what Barca say to it. And we've got placeholder. Kolarov leaves us. Yep, they've matched it. 75 million. Yeah, they've matched that. That was not expected. And Sergio Busquets accepts the contract. So it's all happening at the moment. Bony has gone for 14 million, or we get 14 million off the 16. Player sold. Gundogan departs for 75 million. We get just over 70 million to spend on a new centre mid. Okay, we're going to try and sign Isco. We're going to put Nasri in as part of this deal, plus 18 million, and finally try and get rid of Nasri, because I have no real intention of fitting him into this side at all. Another centre mid we're going to take a look at is Parejo. He's going to fill in for Fernandinho. That's why Fernandinho is going to depart as part of that deal, plus 15 million. Okay, this is interesting. Both of them have been rejected. Valencia are actually interested in the player, but they want 30 million on top of Fernandinho. We won't do that. We will do 20 million. We've also got Real Madrid saying they're not interested in Nasri at all. No one wants Nasri, basically. Okay, we're going to force them to like him. 22 million plus Nasri, and hopefully they want him now. Valencia accept the bid that I've put in for Parejo, and we can now move on to his contract, 60 grand a week. We are going to go with important first team player. Real Madrid again saying they're not interested in Nasri. Okay, so we'll just get rid of Nasri separately, hopefully, and I think we'll go with 30 million. Even though they're probably going to want more for him, even though he's only got 12 months left on his deal. If you thought some of my transfers were unrealistic, then here's one for you. Parejo accepts the contract. He's going to sign for 20 million just before the Community Shield game against Man United. They want 46 million for Isco. A lot of money. 36. We'll go 10 million under. Hopefully we can start off this season by getting some silverware. It's the Community Shield, the trophy that no one really cares about that much. It's nice if you win it, but it's also nice if your goalkeeper doesn't get injured. 4 minutes in, let's skip it. Won the game 2-1, hopefully Neuer's not out for too long, although saying that, I've still got Joe Hart at the club, so it's not all bad. Yes, it is. He's out for 8 weeks. Why the hell didn't he get subbed off? Although, saying that, there wasn't actually a goalkeeper on the bench. Okay, so we're going to go with 35, and we're going to give them Moy, I think we'll go with. Sounds a little bit better. Okay, so similar to transfer deadline day now, so the first 3 games have been played in the league. We've not started off well. 2 losses against Chelsea. Did win against Liverpool and also against Wimbledon just. But yeah, not an ideal start at the moment. We'll see what emails we have. Oh yeah, probably should have checked upon this. Real Madrid did accept a bit of putting for Isco. And he wants 220 grand a week. We will go ahead with that. And I think give him a crucial first team player. Isco accepts the contract offer and we get rid of Moy as part of that deal, as well as 35 million. Nichtum has gone to Derby. I think that's how I pronounce Nichtum. Doesn't quite sound right, but he's gone to Derby now. We got 6 million for him, but only 4.9 into our budget. And Zuccolini goes to Middlesbrough potentially here. I think we're going to ask for just the 3.3. It's only 100 grand extra. Just pay it. Middlesbrough are unwilling to go 100 grand extra, so we'll accept the offer now. Will Patching leaves for Doncaster. We get just under 600 grand for him. There's only a couple of hours left now. We will quickly sim through them. So this is my starting 11. Very, very happy with the starting 11. We're looking very good at the moment. Certainly an improvement on the starting 11 we had at the start of this season. So very happy with it. Now let's get on with simming the games. hopefully with the side that we've got, the strength and depth that we have, we should be able to win many more matches than we did in this time last season. Okay, so we're now at January. Now I've taken a quick look at some of the fixtures. Look at this run we've gone on in the league. Very, very good stuff by the looks of it at the moment. Should really be in the top 3, I would have thought. We're first. Okay, first by 4 points. That's pretty decent. Another player injured, and it's Paulo Fernandes. Why the hell is he playing? He's 65 overall. So it seems like Joe Hart has been the number 1. Oh, well, he's played more games, so maybe because obviously Neuer's been injured. It seems like Joe Hart's been filling in for him. Caballero, Gunn. Why has Gunn played more than Willy Caballero? Didn't even realise Caballero's still here, to be honest. Oh wait, he's not anymore. Okay, so that rules him out. So some interesting stuff at the moment. Again, why is Humphreys Grant playing? I don't want him playing 5 Premier League games, ideally. And that's why Lucas Hernandez hasn't been playing, so you can leave as well. Patrick Roberts has played, well, 1 more game than I expected him to play. Julian Brandt has not played a single game since we signed him. That is an issue. Why has that not happened? I've got to sort a lot of player futures out, I think, here. I think we just need to maybe offer them new contracts. It's difficult to know exactly how to sort that out. We've got transfer offers in here, though, which could be more helpful to try and get rid of some players. Sammy Nasri is someone I want to get rid of. I really don't want it at the club. Jason Denayer, I would be interested in giving him the opportunity to leave as well. I think we have, 6 centre-backs. Obviously not ideal. Humphreys Grant has gone, but also Jason Denayer will probably be leaving as well. And Douglas Costa has actually been very, very good for us in the first part of the season. PSG would have to, I think they would have to pay 55 million if I'm that interested to get rid of Douglas Costa. Transfer offer in for a player that I thought had left for Middlesbrough. Obviously not, so hopefully he can leave now. We've got through to the round of 16 against Galatasaray here, so an easier round of 16 game than I was maybe expecting, so we're happy with that. Man United potentially could be in the quarterfinals if they were to win their game. Jason Denayer leaves for Everton, 7.5 million added onto our budget, and Southampton not willing to go with the 14.5, so it'll last for 13.5. I just want to get rid of him. Player sold, Nasri goes to Southampton. We've also got some prize money coming in for the FA Cup. Paris centre-back going. Douglas Costa is not worth that much, surprisingly. Or unsurprisingly, I should say. And we've got Zuccolini here leaving for 3.6 million. We're not going to bother negotiating. Let's just get rid of him. Alright, then I'll put in a bit for Messi if you wanted me to. 60 million plus Iheanacho. That's 81 in total. He's got 6 months left on his deal as well. Zuccolini leaves. We get 2.9 million for that. Yeah, I realised they'd come back a little bit sooner than that, so not interested in the player. A little bit surprising. I was expecting them to be interested in Iheanacho. We go 70 million plus Iheanacho. We're going to persist with this one. Okay, we beat Stoke City in the FA Cup as well, so we go through to the next round. Only just winning these games, though. That's something to bear in mind. We're not completely thrashing everyone. And Barcelona have said they're not interested in Iheanacho again. Okay, 65 million plus Costa. Still not interested in the player. What more do they want? Maybe it's money. 75 million, let's see. No, but they want 122 for him. Oh, no. Okay, Brandt plus 70 million. Brandt's not played a single game for us yet, so I don't know why. It's a little bit frustrating. It's sad to get rid of him. We've got a game on transfer deadline day against Everton. Let's see how we get on here. 3-0 win, no injuries as well, which is great. And can we get Messi now, maybe? No further talks. Damn, that is frustrating. We'll look for a different player. Okay, 72 million and Brandt. We're going to try and get Neymar this time. They want 152 million plus Brandt to sign Neymar. We don't have that money, but we might have enough money to get Ronaldo. They want 100 million plus Costa, who we've also put in as part of a deal to try and sign Ronaldo now. And I think we're going to go with 80 million instead. It's been accepted. 80 million plus Douglas Costa. This is literally going to clean up all the money that we have left, basically. We're going to go 2-year deal. Crucial first-team player. Obviously, a former United player, so not great to try and sign him for City. Ronaldo has accepted the contract. He signs, Douglas Costa leaves, and that means we have probably the 3rd best player in the world, I think. Okay, that is transfer deadline day over now. That is the final transfer window we will have of this mini-series. So we've made all the signings, we've spent up all our money, and now we've just got to wait and see whether this team will perform. We've got, is this the final here? Yeah, it's the final of the EFL Cup, which we'll sim to now, and then we'll sim it, not through the calendar, but through the game as usual. Oh, this isn't good. We've lost to Galatasaray 2-1 in the round of 16 first leg. Now, it's not good. We need to get back into that one now, I think, in the second leg. But we've got this game against Chelsea, the final of the EFL Cup. This is another one of our targets. To try and win everything is ultimately our target. Okay, here we go. The final of the EFL Cup against Chelsea. Let's see how we get on. We've got Neuer, Ronaldo, Dybala, all these big names playing. On paper we should win, but it's FIFA, so who knows. Ronaldo scores 19 minutes in. We are going to sim it at half-time, I think. Sterling makes it 2-0. In fact, we'll skip it now. We've won the game 4-0. What a comfortable victory that is. We've won the EFL Cup. That is the first trophy on our list which we have won. That's great news, but there's still more to be done. Okay, now on to the Champions Cup round of 16, the second leg against Galatasaray. In the previous leg, they beat us 2-1, so we actually have an away goal here. But we need to win. We just need to go out there and thrash them. We've got a very strong team out again. Need to beat them. Let's hope we can get ourselves some goals. Ronaldo scores again the first goal of this game. That helps us out a lot. That gets us through into the next round. Currently, but Rose gets himself sent off 29 minutes in, 2 yellow cards. Into the second half, we'll skip. We won the game 3-1, even though we got an injury. We'll take it. We're into the next round. Okay, so the quarterfinals is against Dortmund. We're going to sim the first leg through the calendar and pray that we do something. We lost to West Brom 1-0 in the previous game. That's not great. And we've won 1-0 against Dortmund. That's much better. Let's sim on to the second leg now. Okay, here is the second leg of the quarterfinals. Now, the first leg, we obviously got the away goal, which is great against Dortmund. And the objective has always been to try and win the Champions League. Now, I'm saying this, it could well jinx it and we could go out here. But Sterling scores the first goal and we win the game 3-1, 4-1 in aggregate. Like I said before, the objective has always been to win the Champions League. That's what it kind of means by evolving the side a little bit. We're going to hopefully try and win the Champions League this season. We've got a game against Watford in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. I'm just hoping that they don't decide to field a really weak team for it. Okay, here we go. It's the moment of truth. We're not going to sim it through the usual way. We'll go through the calendar and let's move on. It's only the FA Cup, alright? Okay, so we've not won everything. We got into the semi-final of the FA Cup, which is pretty decent, but ultimately we are trying to win the Champions League. That was the main aim. It's going to be 2 very tough games here against PSG, who we've got in the semi-finals. So, yeah, we're going to try and sim the first one here. Again, we've just got to hope that they put out the right team. And they did. We won 2-0. Wow, I was not expecting that. Let's move on to the second leg now. Okay, so this time the first leg of the semi-finals, that was actually a home game, so it wasn't away goals or anything like that. We need an away goal here, basically. PSG don't have any. We've got one now. We should go through. 3-0 in aggregate. We've conceded, but we're still through. That's the main thing. We go through quite comfortably into the final of the Champions League. Fantastic stuff for us. Now we need to go on to win it. I think we've won the Premier League now mathematically. Yes, we have actually. We've won the Premier League as well. So, I say as well, we've not won the Champions League yet. That is down to me now to try and win the Champions League. So that should be fun because I've not played a single game with this team. The final is against Barcelona. That will be the final thing to do of this career mode. We've won the Premier League title. We've won the EFL Cup. We got to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. We've nearly accomplished all our objectives. Obviously not getting to be able to win the FA Cup was a bit disappointing. But ultimately that was going to be very, very difficult to do with so many fixtures to try and play. So this could be the icing on the cake. Let's wait and see whether we are able to beat Barcelona in this game. Like I said before, don't be expecting some sort of world-class performance against them, because obviously they're a very good team, but also this is my first game playing with Man City, so it's very risky, and yeah, we'll wait and see what happens. I'll also warn you now, there's not going to be loads and loads of highlights from this. I've already been here for about an hour and 20 minutes recording this, so that's without this next game as well. So there will probably only be the goals that have actually scored for this game. It's not going to be a proper highlights like I usually do. Okay, this is the final of the Champions League here. This is the team I'm going to go with. Manuel Neuer starts in goal. Marcus at right back, Stones, Company and Gaia as the rest of my defenders. Busquets, Isco and Delph playing midfield. Delph's in there because I'm a little bit worried about the lack of pace in there. So hopefully he's going to enable us to be a bit faster in there. Sterling, Dybala and Ronaldo as my front three. Come up against our former player as well, Ilkay Gundogan. This is also on Legendary, just a quick note. But let's crack on now and see what goals happen in the match, if any do. Okay, here we go. Can we get ourselves a win and win the Champions League? What our objective has been throughout the whole of this evolution of Manchester City. Hopefully we can. Gonna hit on the break with Ronaldo. He doesn't have as much pace as he used to. He was on 74 acceleration when I bought him. Still going though. Gets brought down. That's surely a penalty. I can't believe I've not given that. Ronaldo running through. Great chance for him if he can cut back in on his right foot. Saved. Isco, can he finish it off? Saved again brilliantly. Delph. Oh, Delph scores. It's 1-0 in the 80th minute. Not much has really happened. Not many chances whatsoever in this game. And I thought it was going to penalties. I had it in my mind at the start of the game that we'd get into penalties. But we've managed to find a very, very late goal in the 80th minute. It's a little bit sweaty, I think. I mean, it's intricate play, I suppose. It's not quite across the box. It's more inside the box. But it's a good right-footed finish. Pass to Stegen, our former player, who obviously we gave back to them. And it's 1-0. Very happy with that finish. And that should really be the Champions Cup in the bag for us. That is it. We have won the Champions League. Fantastic result for us. It's only a 1-0 win in the end. And really, really happy with that. So we can finally lift the trophy. We've completed all the objectives that we've set out. other than obviously a little bit of disappointment at not winning the FA Cup, but semi-finals isn't a bad run, considering the amount of fixtures we had at this time. But yeah, we've done it. It's only a 1-0 win, but it could have really been more, to be honest. Barcelona didn't really turn up. It was the Barcelona that turned up in real life against PSG. We just couldn't capitalise on a couple of the other chances we had. And yeah, we've got time now to just quickly take a look at us winning the trophy as we end this mini-series with Man City. It will return, though, with a very similar thing, just with a different club very, very shortly. As you see, Cristiano Ronaldo there, looking to get in on the trophy action. We will have Vincent Kompany lifting the trophy, obviously, as the captain for today's game. But you can just see all the players that we have signed. We've also kept a lot of players as well. There's still Sterling there, Vincent Kompany, Yaya's still there as well. But here we are, the Champions Cup winners, and in our second season as well. Very, very happy with that. In the first season, not quite successful. We made up for it with such a good second season here. Signed loads of really good players. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this mini-series, this mini-career mode with Manchester City. Obviously not playing many games, just the one game, in fact, in these 2 episodes. But we simmed a lot, and I think we developed all-round a very, very good team that's clearly unplayable. And we definitely dominated a lot of very, very good sides along the way. Thank you all so much for watching this mini-series. Like I say, it will return very shortly with a different club. Leave your suggestions for clubs I should do it with in the comments below. Liverpool's been quite a popular one, although so have a few other teams as well, which we might take a look at some stage. There'll be many teams over us to do over this series. So thank you all so much for watching. If we could go ahead and hit 40 likes on today's episode, I would really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. It'd be really appreciated. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time for another episode. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.